Are you nothing but a collection of recycled matter with no destiny other than to rot and decay in the dirt? Or do you have an intrinsic meaning, a purpose, a reason to exist in the universe? We're going to take a look into the meaning of your life right now. So what's going on? You found yourself thrust into this strange world of matter, and before you can even get your bearings, you're thrown into school, indoctrinated into a crazy religion, and forced to get a job to survive. This chaotic and confused world has grabbed a hold of you and twisted you around with distraction after distraction, and you don't have a single moment to really sit down and consider deeply what you are, where you are, and why you are here. So what is life? Do you have any meaning at all? Or are you just a random accident? Let's look at this deeply. What does mainstream religion say? Mainstream religion will tell you that the meaning of your life is to please God, to do what He says. You're given a list of rules, of rights and wrongs, things you are supposed to do, and things that you should never do. And let's be honest, the things that you should never do are usually some of the most fun things to do in life, like lots of sex. But nevertheless, according to many mainstream religions, the meaning of your life is to please God by doing good things and not being a dirty, rotten sinner. And if you do a good job, you'll get to heaven. But if you fuck up, you're going to hell, where you'll be burned and tortured for eternity. So what does scientific materialism say? Well, mainstream science says that you are nothing but a random accident, a collection of material atoms with absolutely no inherent purpose or value. In fact, according to materialist science, the universe itself has no meaning. It says that one day, for some unknown reason, the universe suddenly sprang into existence, and one day in the future, the universe will end in heat death, and that will be that. It's all just random chance, and you just happen to exist because a number of atoms arrange themselves in just the correct pattern for you to be sitting here watching this video on YouTube. You don't have a purpose, and when you die, you die. That's it. No more. End of story. In philosophy, the view that life is totally meaningless is called nihilism. Two other views are called existentialism and absurdism. Existentialism says that existence precedes essence. And this basically means that, yeah, life is meaningless. Doesn't mean anything. But ultimately, you kind of give it a meaning. You create the meaning. You give yourself a purpose, and that can be anything at all. Absurdism is the philosophical position that the universe might have meaning, but it is impossible for human beings to know if it does and what it is. And hence it's absurd, because human beings have this tendency to try and find meaning, but the inability to ever actually find it. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre said, "Every existing thing is born without reason, prolongs itself out of weakness, and dies by chance." Not too optimistic, is it? But it might hit home with you. And that's because mainstream religion is beginning to die away in the minds of many, which is fucking fantastic. But unfortunately, it's being replaced by nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism. So if you feel that quote, chances are you are feeling the bite of a world that has forgotten its meaning and lost its essence. Now finally, hedonism is the position that the aim of life is all about seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. Hedonists will do everything to maximize their net pleasure while minimizing pain. So, here you have the mainstream religious worldview saying that the meaning of existence is to please God, while on the other end of the spectrum you have the scientific materialist worldview professing that existence is a random accident. This mindset will inevitably spawn nihilism, existentialism, absurdism, and even hedonism. Whatever worldview that you adopt will shape your entire life. All of your life choices, everything that you do, is guided by your fundamental view of reality And all of this has a profound effect on you. So what does this do to you? What does it do to the psyche? What consequences does it have on humanity as a whole? Someone that's indoctrinated into mainstream religion will become absolutely obsessed with pleasing their creator God, with trying to get to heaven and avoid hell. Now, this completely takes the focus off of themselves and their own life. Their main priority is about a non-existent sky wizard instead of becoming the best version of themselves. They are obsessed with being like Jesus rather than becoming themselves. Now, those that suspect that life might be meaningless will often adopt one of the philosophical positions of nihilism, existentialism, absurdism, or possibly hedonism. This can lead to extreme depression and even suicide. They might figure if life has no meaning, then why live at all? Existentialists create their own meaning, but this still leaves a void, because in the back of their mind, they know that it's a facade, a delusion, a story, a game that they're playing, something they're just telling themselves in order to alleviate their existential torment. If you look around you, you'll see a degraded form of hedonism everywhere. This is the you only live once mentality. So you might as well have fun while you're here. These people spend all of their time partying and wasting their time on basic pleasures. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. That's absolutely necessary. But these kinds of people only focus on pleasure and never take the time to work on themselves and become better people. Because after all, what's the point of becoming better if you're just going to die in the end? Hyperionism denies all of these worldviews. It shows reality to be the ultimate expression of meaning itself that can absolutely become knowable. Because your existence is inherently and intrinsically imbued with purpose. Hyperionism is all about logic, reason, and mathematics. There is nothing random in reality. Everything has a reason for its existence. Everything has a meaning. Since this meaning is rational, and humans have the capability of reasoning, this meaning can absolutely be understood. But to grasp it completely requires a shift in consciousness, a revolution of the mind. All of these false and damaging worldviews that cloud the mind must be dropped so that the truth of the universe can be clearly seen. Reality itself is striving to become perfect. It has infinite potential that it is yearning to actualize. And you are a direct reflection of the universe itself. And as you perfect, the universe perfects. The meaning of your life is to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. To reach inside and take your infinite potential and to bring it forth into the world, to actualize it. You are a red rose yearning to bloom, and sometimes it can be a struggle. The spiders will bite and the rain will try to drown, but you will overcome and express perfect beauty. And as we all do so, the universe blossoms. You are a mind of infinite energy, and energy can never be destroyed. When you die, it's only your body that perishes. Your mind will live forever. And all the work that you do in this individual life leads to the evolution and optimization of the internal energy patterns of your eternal mind. The more that you grow, the more that you learn, the more that you express, the more your mind evolves. Remember that reality is completely based on an underlying mathematical code. It's totally rational and logical. A creator God is completely against logic and reason, and hence mainstream religion is false. The laws of mathematics guarantee that reality is striving towards not the maximization of empty pleasure, but the maximization of meaning, which is true satisfaction. Life is not about pleasing a God or being like Jesus. It's not about sin or karma or even pleasure. So what is the meaning of life? Inscribed on the entrance to the oracle at Delphi were the words, "Know thyself." To truly know yourself and your purpose, and the purpose of all of us together, will require hard work and an upward shift in consciousness. Ultimately, it requires the understanding of the mathematical code that reality is written on. But to say it simply, the purpose of your life is to actualize your potential. So go and learn, discover, grow, express yourself, create art, push yourself, never stop, always move forward. And as you do so, remember the words, "Know thyself." And as you know yourself, you will know yourself as the universe. And as all of us come together to this grand realization, all possibilities will open up before us. And in our infinite freedom, we will create entire worlds of experience in this universe of meaning. So go out and become yourself. Actualize your potential. Ad astra. To the stars. Now make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, check out my Patreon now to see exclusive material. You are imbued with purpose and with meaning. And I want to say thank you to all of the supporters on my Patreon for helping me to show the world its deep meaning and purpose. It's because of you that these videos are even possible, and it's your support that allows our movement to become a success. We are here to change the world, and I thank you for your support.